Good morning, YouTube world. Today we are going to show you a little bit about the Guardian class. It is the tank class in Riders of Icarus, or however the hell they pronounce it. I am a level 21 Guardian. Not quite there yet, but I'm 4 levels away from max level in the open beta. This is a class I really enjoy. I played during the closed beta. I had a blast. It is definitely for tanks. You know, if you like tanking in World of Warcraft, you will love this class. You can compare it to, the Death Knight, the Paladin, and the Warrior. All of them have, you'll see little similarities between all those classes here in the Guardian and Riders. Of course, Druid tanks, not so much. But those other 3 tanks in World of Warcraft, you could definitely compare it to those classes if you play WoW. If not, then you will still have a blast playing this class. I guarantee you that. So, first off, single target wise, I'll go through a little bit of my rotation and the combinations that you could come up with to not only increase physical attack, but increase your defense and just shut down the enemy really well. You could see here I'm 100% health. A lot of the your assassins, your wizards, your priests are probably going to have a little hard time really keeping their health high up there, but guess what? We're a tank, so we shouldn't have that problem. At the same note, we are a tank. We don't deal that much damage, right? So I will show you my rotation and how it fits in with the Guardian class. I like it. It's pretty nice. So first off, I always start with Justice Force. It's a blasted target enemy with a pent up justice. It's a range attack, and it will go ahead and proc my Binding Summons. Binding Summons will lasso the target with a sacred chain and pulls them to me. Easy enough, right? Range attack, we pull his ass in. After that, we're going to use our Shield Smite. Slam the shield into an enemy to shut down their attack. Critical hits destabilize the enemy. We like destabilizing the enemy. We don't want to get hit. That's good. And then after that, we're going to use Prevailing Blow. Alright, swiftly suppresses the target and pushes them back. After that, our Rising Truth will proc. And this is a link skill with Dominant Virtue. Okay, so and you'll see that here here in a little bit. After we use that, that's pretty much like our first rotation or combination of abilities that link really nice together. After that, we're going to go ahead and use Hykane's Grasp, which is pretty much like an AoE pull. Almost think of like a DK's Gorfiend's Grasp. It's pretty much the same thing. And that will proc Sentinel Smash. Plunges the enemy with your shield to draw attention and stun. Stuns are good. Critical hit will destabilize the enemy. That's good. We don't want them to hit us. Strikes and stun enemies within 4 meters to increase your threat level. We're a tank. We like our threat level to be increased. We want the threat, so you definitely need to do that. And I just got to follow. Alright, well, not even online, but okay. Alright, so I'm going to start off with this little bunny here. Again, we're going to start off with Justice Force, then Binding Summons, then our Shield Smite, then our Prevailing Blow, then our Rising Truth, then we're going to go to Dominant Virtue, then after that we're going to do a Hykane's Grasp, then after that it will proc Sentinel Smash. You'll notice after that the Justice Force will not be off cooldown. Now, 2 things could happen. You could put some fillers in there like Weapon Toss. You could use another Rising Truth, but you need that Rising Truth as a combination. Normally, I just use the Weapon Toss or the Kick. Kick the target with a 50% chance to launch the follows up with a Shield Strike. Okay, so you'll be able to use that and then follow up with the Shield Strike, but it doesn't always happen. It's pretty much like a proc. So I'm surprised this bunny hasn't attacked us already. So again, here we go. It'll be fast, but then I'll go ahead and talk about it afterwards. Again, here we go. So there, that, and you could see him proccing on the screen there. Then we'll use this, destabilize him. Hakon's Grasp, like that. And then this is where I fill in. Boom. Kick. Okay, you can see that's not all cooldown, but our binding summons is. So here we go. We'll use that again, and then boom. So we kind of go through a rotation. When you need a filler, you use kick, and then you'll use weapon toss. You know, and that's just a filler, waiting on your stuff to come off cooldown. Now I could have waited longer for Justice Force and just auto attack, and then use Justice Force and then binding summons. It's preference, whatever you want to do. I like to use the filler, so I could kill the enemy faster. He's still taking damage, especially in this scenario. They're just average little bunnies around this world. So the good thing about the Guardian class is that, you know, there's a lot of defense abilities when you're using these combinations, and there's a lot of increased attack, physical attack. So you'll be able to, you know, have good DPS and be defensive. So, you know, let's just take a look at it again with this bunny that just so happens to respawn at a perfect time, so we could show you again. And you'll see my health. My health is at 100%. Now, any like wizard or priest or assassin or berserker, you know, they're on these guys. Yeah, they'll do a lot of DPS, but they'll take a lot of damage. We won't do, you know, our DPS isn't going to be so high, but we're not really going to take the damage that those guys are going to take. So here we go. Started off again. Oh, we missed that one. That's okay because our binding summons also procs. Same thing with these. So if you miss it, you know, do the next one, then I'll proc. Here we go, Arcane's Grasp. Then we got, alright, then we use our fillers. We're going to go ahead and weapon toss, but our binding summons is up, so we'll use that. All of our shields are up. There we go. And it's just over and over and over again. And this is just for single target, by the way. Alright, he's dead. Perfect. Oh, look at that. 4 out of 6 kill. We could just wait for this guy. AoE's a little bit different. AoE, obviously, you want to use your Haikane's Grasp. It's a really good ability, just like DK's in WoW. Their Gorfiend's Grasp. You definitely are going to be using that. Maybe not on cooldown, but you're definitely going to be using a lot of that. You're going to be using a lot of Prevailing Blow, swiftly suppress the target and pushes them back, activate the skill Safeguard to deal 200% of basic attack damage, decrease cooldown by 30%, and greatly increase your threat level. Increase your threat level. That's what you want to do. You are a tank. So, and Safeguard, by the way, I didn't show you that, but I'll just show you here. This is Safeguard right here. Defends against all nearby attacks for 2 seconds. Any enemy that attacks you will be dazed for 3 seconds. Always good. Once you learn Absorbing Shield, this skill will restore 1% of your max mana after a successful defense. Okay, so that's always good. For AoE, it's a little bit of the same. You want to pretty much single target rotate, but you're adding in those elements of AoE, like your Haikane's Grasp. You know what I mean? You're adding in those abilities. And then you're using abilities like Liberty Arc. You're using abilities like Prevailing Blow. That'll really get that. Oh, and Bonds of Law. Bonds of Law is really good. You haven't seen that in the single target rotation because you don't really need it in a single target rotation. That's all about the AoE. So Bonds of Law is change your target to up to decrease movement and increase your threat level. Again, increase threat level. You are a tank. That's what you do. Activate this skill after a Haikane's Grasp, which you will do to cast Bonds of Law on all enemies within 2 meters ahead of you. Okay? So you will be using this ability after a Haikane's Grasp in an AoE situation. And then you'll be using Sentinel Smash in AoE situation, strikes and stuns enemies within 4 meters to increase your threat level. Okay, if you use your Haikane's Grasp, you grasp them all in, you use your Bonds of Law, and all your threat level has just been increased. And then you go ahead and smash them down with a Sentinel Smash. It is really good threat generation. So make sure in an AoE situation that you do that. Right now I could pull a whole bunch of them and show you here. Let's pull this guy with a weapon toss, pull this guy with that, and then we'll go ahead and pull this bunny with another one of these. or we'll just go over here. Alright, so I got this. So I'm gonna Hakeem's Grasp, pull them all in. I got my threat. There it goes. Alright, little delay. Shield. Boom. Now we could just kind of go with the single target rotation. We got them all. There's no worry, you know, there's no threat about that. Hakeem's Grasp again. Then we got our bond. Easy, easy peasy. And if you need to switch, you could just, you know, switch. I don't tab. I use the, what's it called? The standard mode. I like the standard mode, especially as a tank. I really don't feel like sitting there and, oh, let's get that guy over here. And you could even do single target, that comboed. If he doesn't reset himself, there we go. And obviously you could see, you know, with more of these guys, we're going to take more damage. There's our, it'll daze them. See how it dazed both of them there? Hakeem's Grasp. There we go. Really easy. And I mean, we'll probably end this with about 50%, which really isn't too bad. Seeing as that you pulled 3 of them, I mean, any other class is going to pull 3 of those guys. They better either, one, have really good kiting skills and just kite away from them while they AoE them down, or they're going to die. I mean, or they better pray they don't die, or have potions, really. We didn't need to use a potion. We took on 3 of them, and we didn't drop. We dropped to about 50% health, so that's really good. So, that's that for now. Like I said, I'm level 21. I have not reached open beta max level, which is 25. So I don't know really what's going to come to head. I could see in my spell book right here, Pledge of Brilliance and stuff like that. Speaking of which, you always want your, which I failed at, Pledge of Duty. It's your, it's a buff that physical defense increased by 15% and health increased by 5%. Pretty much always keep that up. It's just a buff that you give, so you just definitely want that. And I mean, here we go. It's that easy. Grasp. Boom, boom, boom. And just like that, all Hakeem's Grasp. I mean, it's a pretty simple rotation. I mean, they pretty much give it right to you. I'll use my fillers. I don't need to use my fillers right there. I could have waited for my other abilities like this to come off cooldown, which it was. But when the bunny runs away, I love that. I love that grasp when the bunny runs away. Of course, you got your dodge and everything like that too, so it's pretty good. But yeah, that's about it. I think I went over pretty much everything. Dungeons, it's a little bit different because your cooldowns, there's so many more enemies and there's so many more AoE. Just make sure you're using your Hakeem's Grasp, your Bonds of Law, all your shields to pretty much, you know, bring up that extra defense. Your safeguard, make sure you're using your safeguard. Even like, especially in a big pool, you go in into a big pool, you Hakeem's Grasp everything. You fucking pop that safeguard out, and oh my god, man, they're all dazed. You're gonna use Sentinel Smash. Don't forget about Sentinel Smash though. After the Hakeem's Grasp, you're definitely gonna be wanting to use that. And then you could use your safeguard, and then, you know, if you need Bonds of Law after that, which you probably will, just to go through your rotation. When all that's on cooldown, all your little AoE stuff is on cooldown, just go back to single target until they come back off cooldown. So it's that easy. Let's see, what else did I miss? As far as what I know, that's about it. If you guys have any suggestions, maybe see something that I'm doing wrong in here, please leave a comment down below and let me know, because you know, you letting me know will just better myself with this class. I'm not an expert. I don't create the damn thing. Nexon does, so they are the experts. I am not. I would hope that the connection between these abilities I am getting right, and that works for me. What works for me might not work for you. Oh, and by the way, I guess I should add this note. I did hear if you actually use the R and the C and the Shift R when you see me pull these guys, and you see, well, of course it didn't proc. You see R right there. Don't use that. Always use your keybind abilities. Somebody was telling me, one of my followers on Twitch actually was telling me that if you use R and C, aside from your actual keybind abilities, then you lose out on 5% damage. And we don't want to lose out on 5% damage, especially as a tank. So make sure whenever these things come up, and it took me a while to get used to it. It really did, to have to sit there and use the keybinds instead of just, ooh, I'll just spam R and C. And when I get a third proc, I'll hit Shift R, right? I don't want to lose out on 5%. And if you know anything different than this, again, please leave a comment down below. I have no idea. It's just from what I was told. 5% extra damage by just hitting the keybinds, and you could do it slightly faster than using the R, the C, and the Shift R when those combos come out. So until next time, I thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if I'm missing anything, you guys have suggestions for me to make sure that I'm doing it right, please leave a comment in the section below. Please don't be so brutal. Please, please. And I'll go ahead and read those comments, and I'll see what you guys have to say. And hopefully this helped you out in your class. And if not, then I do apologize. But thank you for tuning in. And until next time, peace.